Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling one of the toughest challenges any business faces, winning the talent war. We're going to give you a real blueprint for building a team that's not just good, but unbeatable. Let's dive right in. You know, the modern workplace? It's basically a battlefield for talent. Competition is just fierce, especially in tech. Companies are literally scrambling to find and, more importantly, keep the people who can help them innovate and grow. So just how big is this scramble for talent? Get this, a staggering 47%, nearly half of all tech workers are thinking about leaving their current job. And here's the real kicker, it's not about the money. The number one reason? They're looking for a place where they can actually grow their skills. So this leads to the million-dollar question, right? If nearly half your team has one foot out the door, what do? How do you build a team that not only stays, but actually thrives? It's obviously not just about throwing more money at them. It's about building an environment that's so awesome, so compelling, that people simply don't want to go anywhere else. Okay, so the answer isn't some magic wand or a single silver bullet. It's a whole system. A system built on 4 key pillars that all work together. We're going to break them down for you. Culture, leadership, structure, and you guessed it, technology. All right, let's kick things off with pillar number 1, culture. This is the big one. It's the why that fuels everything else. Think of it as the personality of your organization, that invisible force that really dictates how work gets done and, crucially, how people feel about doing it. So what does a winning culture look like today? Well, at its very core, it's a continuous learning culture. This is a huge mindset shift. It means you stop just hiring for skills and you start building them from the inside. And look, in the world we live in, this isn't just a nice-to-have perk anymore. It's a massive strategic advantage. And the payoff for building this kind of culture? It's huge. You get this incredible triple advantage. First, engagement goes way up, and with it, so does productivity. Second, people stick around. 84% of employees at the best companies say they get the development they need. That's not a coincidence. And third, you become a magnet for top talent. Seriously, learning opportunities become your number one recruiting tool. And this quote from the CEO of Pluralsight, Aaron Skonnard, just hits the nail on the head. He says, companies that win see their skills inventory as a competitive advantage. This is exactly that mindset shift we're talking about. Skill development stops being an expense on a spreadsheet and becomes a core strategic investment in your people. Okay, so we have our why. That's the culture. Now let's move on to our second pillar, leadership. This is the who. These are the people on the ground day in and day out who are responsible for actually bringing that culture to life. Wow. The job of a modern leader has just exploded, hasn't it? It's not just about managing projects and checking boxes anymore. Their mandate is huge now. It covers everything from designing functions to managing relationships, all while building an innovative culture. They really have to be coaches and mentors, not just bosses. And to pull that off, you need a totally different style of leadership. We're talking about moving away from that old school, traditional command and control model. Instead, we have agile leadership. It's not about hierarchy, it's about adapting. It's less about rigid processes and way more about empowering people and giving them a real sense of purpose. So, how do you do that? Well, it's not just some abstract idea. There's a real playbook here. First, agile leaders walk the walk. They model the change they want to see. Second, they're not afraid to give away power. They empower their teams to make decisions and take action. And maybe most importantly, they listen. They know that the best ideas don't always come from the top. They come from the people who are actually doing the work. Okay, that brings us neatly to pillar number 3, structure. So if culture is the why and leadership is the who, structure is the how. How do you actually organize your people to get the most out of their talent and encourage all that great collaboration and innovation? Well, one really common way to do this is with something called a Center of Excellence, or COE. You can think of a COE like a central hub. It's a team that provides the leadership, the research, the best practices for a specific area, making sure everyone across the whole company is on the same page and doing things efficiently. But there's another approach that works alongside the COE, and it's called a practice team. Now, this is different.
A practice team isn't about top-down rules. It's all about mastering a specific craft. It's more of a community, say for all your developers or all your designers, where the whole point is just to share knowledge and help each other get better at their jobs.
So let's break that down. A center of excellence, that's all about governance and making sure things are consistent across the organization. A practice team, that's focused on individual skill and mastery. They serve different purposes, but honestly, to build a really strong talent system, you kind of need both. And all of this, the culture, the leadership, the structure, it all gets supercharged by our fourth and final pillar, technology. This is the what. These are the tools that let you take this whole system and make it work at scale. And man, has the tech in this space evolved. Think about it. In the past, HR tech was just for basic stuff like payroll. Then we moved into the present with these big cloud-based systems for managing talent. But the future? Oh, the future is all about AI. We're talking about platforms that can help with predictive hiring, personalized learning, the whole shebang. And the impact of this AI is just, well, it's staggering. Look at these numbers. Unilever, they cut their recruiter screening time by 75%. IBM created an AI that can predict which employees are going to leave with 95% accuracy. Think about that. And Cielo Research found that having a measurable talent strategy like this can increase profits by 20%. This stuff really works. And it's not just about being faster, it's about being smarter. Take modern personality assessments. When they're powered by data analytics, they become a scientifically solid way to improve your hiring. You're moving beyond just a gut feeling and into a process that helps you find the absolute right person for the right role. You're building a better, more stable team right from the very beginning. So, let's bring it all together. Here's the single most important thing to remember. These four pillars: culture, leadership, structure, and technology. They don't work in a vacuum. They have to work in synergy. They're all part of one big system. Your culture is just a poster on the wall without great leaders. Your structures can't scale without the right tech. Each piece reinforces the others to create an ecosystem where top talent doesn't just show up to work, they show up to thrive. So that leaves us with one final question, and this one's for you to think about. As you look at your own team, at your own organization, which of these pillars is your weakest link? Where do you need to build next? Is it your culture, your leadership, the structure of your teams, or the technology you're using? Because figuring that out, well, that's the very first step to building your own unbeatable team.